Namaskar, Dr. Jawahar Surisetti here. Today, I was reading the newspaper and saw that some of the young parliamentarians of United Kingdom wanted to see their glory of the father come back. So this thought came to me. Why we see a lot of male adult heart attacks, whereas you don't see that much in females. There might be other health reasons, but the stress factor that the father takes, especially. Let's imagine a situation that when there is a problem, the children go to their mother or father. When the mother has a problem, she goes to the father. But when a father has a problem, where does he go? So that is the reason the stress that builds up in him might be one reason for the heart attacks, more heart attacks in men. So it's also a reason that heart attacks are an expression of the stress that is building up in the father. The moment a son or a daughter grows up and become independent, if they go to the father and tell him that Papa, we are there for you. If you have any problem, please tell us. Because there is nobody he can share his problems with, he is more stressed than the rest. But when the children grow up and they say this to the father, half the heart attacks will go away. Due to this reason, whatever heart attacks are there will go away. The father does not preach. Usually you will see a father not speaking many words to this, don't do this. But his actions are what teach us a lot of things. Our life is purely based on the inspiration that he provides through his actions. So that is something that we should not forget. Let's take the example of my father. Whether you say it's right or wrong or whatever, he would not donate something to a caste based organization. He would not donate anything to a religious place, but he would come forward voluntarily and see that a small child who is a driver's son or a cleaner's son is educated. He would close his eyes and donate that amount, while he would think a lot before donating anything to religious organizations or caste based organizations. I am not saying what he is doing it is right or not, but that's an inspiration for me today, that he thinks so much about the society. He thinks that if he was educated with a lot of difficulty, then it is his duty to give back to the society. And that is why his priority is not religious places. His duty is towards the children who are not able to afford education, or towards the father who is not able to pay for his child's fees. It's such an inspirational thing. So his actions, the father's actions, are what shape our character and our lives. But it's unfortunate that these days we say that my father did not leave me a lot of inheritance, a lot of property. And we try to glorify that whatever we have made is ours. But what about the life and life skills that he has given us? If we imagine, turn back and see a life without our fathers, it's unimaginable. Everywhere where we are in trouble, the family is in trouble, he is there standing as a pillar, and we take him for granted. And that's the reason why we are unable to imagine a life without the father, because he is taken for granted. He is there with us. Now, looking back at the father's selflessness, he would not buy a new car for himself. He can afford, but he will not buy. He will look at his old scooter or motorcycle, keep cleaning it, washing it, take care of it. And our children would say, Papa, what are you doing using this old motorcycle? Why don't you buy a car? You can do it. But he creates a priority list, and in the priority list, his car would be the last wish. He would see his children grow. He would see his wife's welfare after he is not there. So these are priorities that are important to him, which the children might not understand when they ask this question. Nothing wrong in that. But when the children ask this, or and later realize that they asked this question, they will understand how selfless the father has been in putting his priorities as the last priority for the family. And that is the reason the old motorcycle continues, even the old car continues, and he does not buy a new car or a new bike for that instance. Whereas he would, if the child is going to college, he would buy a new bike for the child. So such is the case that we try to take our fathers for granted, and even we try to take their sacrifices for granted. So I would request this Valentine's Day, in case you could think of your parents, your mother's sacrifices, your father's sacrifices, and also not treat them like machines who work for you, and the father especially as an ATM for the family. Jai Hind.